Apple is a very used company these days. Today, we're looking at the life, the leadership, and the legacy of the creator of Apple. Steve Jobs was born on February 24th, 1955. His parents decided they wanted a girl right when he was born, so they gave him up for adoption. His biological parents then adopted him. But they did not sign some papers until until his parents promised that he would go to a university, because his biological mom realized that his father had never graduated from high school and his mother had never graduated from college.
At the age of 13, Steve Jobs met Steve Wozniak, who would become one of the greatest persons in Steve Jobs' life. Steve Jobs dropped out of college because he was not interested in what they teach them in college. So he went to classes that did interest him. He and Wozniak started making a computer. They presented the computer so the people could see it, but the people were not interested in it because it wasn't that good at those times. So Steve Wozniak and Steve Jobs started making it better. So then all the people got interested in it, and there's where the story started of his leadership.
Apple started from two people in a garage to a $2,000 company with over 4,000 employees. And after Apple started, Steve Jobs created the Macintosh and other products which were great. Then he hired a person who was really talented and thought he could run the company with him. But then they disagreed on something, and making Steve Jobs getting fired from Apple. But Steve Jobs didn't give up because he loved what he did, and what he did was great stuff. He made Pixar and Next, which were two great companies. Then Apple bought Next and Disney bought Pixar. So when Apple bought Next, it made Steve Jobs return to Apple, to the company he once made and once owned. Then he worked really good again. He made the iPad, then the iPhone, and all other projects. Then he died because of cancer in 2011. Bye, Steve Jobs.
Jobs was a great leader. Although he was harsh with his employees sometimes, he was still a great leader. He led people to new technology, like the iPhone, the iPad, computers, and some that we use even today.
Dr. Fox, what do you think about the leadership of Steve Jobs?
I understand from what I heard that he was a very innovative fellow and came up with a lot of ideas, but also surrounded himself with people who also had good ideas and listened to them, which is pretty good for an executive.
Do you think he did good in leading?
Evidently, he did a very good job because the company grew with him, didn't grow when he was gone for a while, and grew when he came back.
Okay. Thanks for all this information, Dr. Fox.
Certainly.
Bye.
Happy to help.
What is Steve Jobs' legacy? Steve Jobs is the most admired businessman in the world today. Even though he has passed on, I think if you asked any business student who is your role model in business, 90% would say Steve Jobs. It's incredible the impact that he has had on business today. He created products that were so beautifully designed and so unique that people just wanted them. And now today, if you look at Apple, it's the largest company in the US, in the entire world actually, And it's extremely profitable because people love Apple products and they're willing to pay more for them. So anyone that has an Android phone, this is kind of a commodity, and they're all using the same operating system. It's all similar, and the prices are usually a lot lower. But with an iPhone, people are willing to pay big bucks, and really Steve Jobs, more than anyone on earth, has created products that are so beautiful and so functional that people just love them and are willing to pay more for them. His legacy is certainly that he made design and real functionality key to the process. We all know that technology is not always easy to use. I think the young kids today, when they look at technology, they expect things to work. They expect it to just be easy to use and fun and simple. And that was not always the case. And typically, when people looked at new technologies, people didn't want to use them. People said, okay, this is complicated and hard to use. But with Apple, they've always made everything as easy to use as possible. And they've made technology really a joy to use. So it's simple, it's beautiful, and it has revolutionized the way technology is bought today.
Today we're talking about Steve Jobs' legacy. I think that there's two legacies he left behind: his products and his faith. His products, because we all know him because of the iPhones, the iPads, the Apple computers. But in his faith, because he never gave up when he was mostly depressed when he got fired of Apple. When he never lost faith. That's one of his greatest legacies he had.
No word. Creative.
Successful.
Smart.
Awesome.